Hartman. My name is Rebecca Hartman. I'm 28 years old. 3 weeks ago, my brother crashed my car into a fire hydrant at 2 a.m., totaled, and it's no big deal, insurance will cover it. I smiled and said, "You're absolutely right." What he didn't know was that I'd added him as the primary driver on my policy 6 hours earlier. By the time he figured it out, his insurance rates had tripled, and his name was flagged in the system. But before I tell you how a fire hydrant destroyed my brother's financial future, let me take you back to the beginning. Before I continue, if this story speaks to you, please take a moment to like and subscribe, and drop a comment telling me where you're watching from and what time it is where you are. My brother Tyler is 25 years old. He's a bartender at a dive bar on East 6th Street in Austin, Texas, and he calls himself a DJ. He's been calling himself a DJ for 4 years. In that time, he's had exactly 3 paid gigs. But that's not the problem. The problem is that Tyler has crashed 4 cars. None of them were his. The first was in 2019. Our cousin Jake's truck. Tyler borrowed it to move some equipment for a gig. He sideswiped a mailbox in a subdivision and drove away. Jake found out when his neighbor called him. Tyler said the neighbor was lying. His girlfriend Melissa's SUV. Tyler took it to grab tacos at 1 a.m. He clipped a curb, blew out the tire, and bent the rim. Melissa broke up with him. Tyler said she was being dramatic. The third was in 2023. Our cousin Amy's sedan. Tyler just needed to run to the store. He rear-ended someone at a stoplight because he was changing the song on his phone. Amy's insurance went up $60 a month. Tyler said it could have happened to anyone, and every single time, my parents said the same thing. He's just unlucky. Accidents happen. It's not that bad. And every single time they helped him out, paid the deductible, smoothed things over, made excuses. I watched this pattern for 4 years. I said nothing. I kept my distance. I drove my 2021 Honda Civic Silver, paid off with my own money from my job as a graphic designer. I loved that car. I'd saved for 2 years to buy it outright. No loan, no cosigner, just me and my paychecks and a lot of budgeting. Tyler knew this. Everyone knew this. Which is why what happened at Christmas dinner shouldn't have surprised me. But it did. December 22nd, 2023. My parents' house in North Austin. A 1-story ranch with a big backyard and a dining room table that seats 10 but only ever sits 4. My mom, Linda, is a real estate agent. My dad, Robert, is a retired firefighter. They're good people. They love us. But they have a blind spot the size of a fire truck when it comes to Tyler. We were halfway through dessert, pecan pie, and coffee, when Tyler leaned back in his chair and said, "Hey, Becca, can I borrow your car this weekend?" I set down my fork. "No. Come on. Just for 2 days. I've got a gig in San Jose. Take the bus." My mom's voice cut in from the other end of the table. "Rebecca, don't be selfish. It's Christmas." I looked at her. "I'm not being selfish. I'm being smart." My dad leaned forward. "He needs it for work. This could be his big break." Tyler nodded. "I've changed, Becca. I'm more responsible now. I haven't had an accident in over a year." I picked up my fork. "You haven't borrowed a car in over a year. That's not the same thing." My mom sighed. "You're being difficult." I stood up. "I'm being realistic. Tyler has crashed 3 cars. None of them were his. I'm not adding mine to the list." I grabbed my coat and left. My phone buzzed before I even got to my car. A text from my mom. "You hurt your brother's feelings." I didn't respond. Over the next 4 months, Tyler asked me 6 more times. Every single time, my parents backed him up. Every single time, I said no. January 14th. Just need it for a day. My friend's car is in the shop. February 3rd. Come on, it's 1 hour. I have an interview. March 10th. Tyler showed up at my apartment unannounced. "I'm here to pick up the car." I told him I didn't have it. I'd driven it to my boyfriend Marcus's place and left it there. Tyler left angry. March 18th. Family group chat. My mom, "Why are you being so difficult about this? He's your brother." March 25th. Tyler posted on Facebook. "Some people don't understand what family means." I muted the group chat, kept driving my car. I kept saying no. And then Tyler's borrowed car, a 2015 Ford Focus that belonged to his friend Kevin, broke down. Transmission failure. April 28th, 2024. My parents called me that night, both of them on speakerphone. "Rebecca, we need to talk about Tyler." I was sitting on my couch with Marcus watching a movie. I paused it. "What about him?" "Kevin's car is dead. Tyler needs transportation. He'll lose his job if he can't get to work. The bus runs every 20 minutes on his route." My mom's voice went tight. "You're being cruel. What if he loses his job? Then maybe he should have been more careful with the 3 cars he crashed." My dad, We raised you better than this. I hung up. Marcus looked at me. They're going to keep pushing. I know. What are you going to do? I don't know yet. The call came 3 days later. May 1st, 2024, 10 a.m. My mom. We're having a family meeting tonight. 6 p.m. Your father and I need to discuss something with you and Tyler. I almost said no, but something in her voice told me this wasn't a request. This was a setup. I drove to their house that evening. Tyler's car, Kevin's dead Ford Focus, was parked in the driveway with a for sale sign in the window. I walked inside. My parents were sitting on the couch. Tyler was in the armchair looking smug. My dad cleared his throat. Rebecca, sit down. I sat. My mom folded her hands in her lap. We've come up with a solution. Tyler can borrow your car for 1 week while Kevin repairs the Focus. Just 1 week. Monday through Sunday. Only for work. No parties, no drinking. Straight to the bar and straight home. I looked at Tyler. You swear? I swear on my life, just working back. My dad will even cover your gas. My mom. This is reasonable, Rebecca. 1 week. Marcus had driven me over. He was sitting in his truck outside. I'd told him to wait, that this wouldn't take long. Now I pulled out my phone and texted him. I'm agreeing. Don't argue, he replied immediately. Don't do it. I looked up at my parents. 1 week. Work only. If anything happens to my car, Tyler pays for it. Not you two, Tyler grinned. Nothing's going to happen. My mom exhaled. Thank you, Rebecca. I left. I got in Marcus's truck. He looked at me. You're really doing this? I'm really doing this. Why? Because I'm done being the bad guy. I'm done saying no while they call me selfish. Tyler's gonna crash my car. I know it. You know it. They refuse to believe it. So I'm going to make sure that when he does, he's the one who pays for it. Marcus stared at me. What are you planning? Insurance. The next morning, May 2nd, 2024, I called my Aunt Gina. She's my dad's younger sister, 50 years old, and she's worked as an insurance adjuster for State Farm for 23 years. We're not close, but we're friendly. Christmas cards and birthday texts. She picked up on the second ring. Becca, how are you? I'm good, Aunt Gina. I need some advice. What's going on? I explained the situation. Tyler's history, the family pressure, the 1 week loan. Gina was quiet for a moment. Then she said, You think he's going to crash it. I know he is. And you want to protect yourself. I want him to face the consequences for once. Another pause. You can add him as a driver to your policy. If you list him as the primary driver for the vehicle during that week, any accident that occurs will go on his record, not yours. His record? His driving record. His insurance rates. His name gets flagged. Not yours. I sat down on my couch. Can I do that? You're the policyholder. You can add or remove drivers anytime. But Becca, if you do this, you need to understand what it means. If Tyler gets into an accident and he's listed as primary, his insurance will go up. And it'll stay on his record for 3 years. Good. Gina sighed. You sound like your grandmother. She never let your dad get away with anything either. Will you help me? I'll walk you through it. It took 30 minutes. Gina stayed on the phone while I logged into my State Farm account, added Tyler James Hartman as a driver, and changed his status from secondary to primary. Effective immediately. My premium went up $40 a month. I paid it. Gina, it's done. He's primary. If he crashes that car, it's his name on the claim. Thank you. Becca? Yeah? Your parents are going to be furious. I know. That evening, Tyler showed up at my apartment to pick up the car. I handed him the keys. Remember, I said, working home, that's it. I got it. You worry too much. Marcus was standing behind me in the doorway. Just be careful, man, Tyler laughed. It's a Civic, not a fighter jet. I'll be fine. He drove away. I watched the taillights disappear down the street. Marcus closed the door. This is going to end badly. I know. You're really okay with that? I'm really okay with that. Here's what I didn't tell Tyler, or my parents, or anyone except Marcus. I had a backup plan. 3 months earlier, I'd bought a phone charger from Amazon. It looked like a normal car charger, USB port, black plastic, the kind you plug into the cigarette lighter. But it wasn't normal. It was a GPS tracker, real-time location update sent to an app on my phone. I'd bought it after Tyler showed up unannounced at my apartment trying to take my car without asking. I'd installed it that same day. Tyler had no idea it was there. It looked exactly like every other phone charger, and for the next 4 days, I watched him. May 3rd, day 1. Tyler's shifts at the bar started at 5 p.m. and ended at 1 a.m. The bar was 6 miles from my parents' house. According to the GPS tracker, Tyler drove to the bar at 4:30 p.m. He left at 1:15 a.m. But he didn't go home. He went to a taco truck on South Congress Avenue. Then he went to a friend's apartment in East Austin. He got home at 3 a.m. 47 miles. For a 6-mile commute. Tyler drove to the bar, left at 1 a.m., went to a club on West 6th Street, stayed until 2:30 a.m., drove home. Total mileage, 52 miles. May 5th, day 3. Bar. Late night drive to a house party in South Austin. Home at 4 a.m., total mileage, 61 miles. May 6th, day 4. Bar. Another club. A drive-through at Whataburger. Home at 3:15 a.m., total mileage, 68 miles. I took screenshots of every route. I didn't say anything. I just watched and waited. The call came on May 7th, 2024, at 2:17 asleep. My phone rang. Tyler's name on the screen, I answered. What? So. His voice was too loud, too careful, the voice of someone trying to sound sober. Small problem. I sat up. Marcus stirred next to me. Where are you? Rainy Street. There was this fire hydrant. Are you drunk? No, I had like 2 beers. Hours ago. It's fine. Mostly fine. Front end is a little crunched. I hung up. I called an Uber. Marcus was already pulling on his jeans. He crashed it. I know. We got to Rainy Street at 2:45 a.m. The scene was impossible to miss. A fire hydrant in the middle of the street. Water shooting 15 feet into the air. My Honda Civic, 30 feet away, front end crumpled like an accordion. The hood was bent upward. The bumper was on the ground. Both airbags had deployed. A police officer was standing next to Tyler, writing a report. Tyler saw me and jogged over. Becca, listen, what happened? I was driving home and I didn't see the hydrant and I swerved, but... You didn't see a fire hydrant. It was dark. The police officer walked over. Are you the vehicle owner? Yes. Your brother refused a breathalyzer test. I looked at Tyler. You what? Tyler crossed his arms. I wasn't drunk. I don't have to prove anything. The officer. Refusal is an automatic license suspension in Texas, 90 days. I looked at my car. The radiator was leaking fluid onto the pavement. The front left tire was blown. The headlights were shattered. A tow truck pulled up. The driver got out, looked at the car, and shook his head. That's totaled. Tyler turned to me. Insurance will cover it, no big deal. I looked at him. I looked at my car. I looked at the water still shooting out of the hydrant. You're absolutely right, I said. Tyler blinked. Really? Really, insurance will handle it. See? You're being cool about it. I'm being very cool about it. Marcus was standing behind me. He squeezed my shoulder. He knew what I'd done. The tow truck took my car. The police officer gave me a copy of the report. Tyler got a citation for reckless driving and a notice about his license suspension. We all went home. At 10 a.m. my phone rang. My mom. Tyler told us what happened. These things happen, honey. It's nobody's fault. It's the fire hydrant's fault. My dad's voice in the background. We'll help with the deductible. That's very kind. My mom. You're taking this well. I am. Tyler's taking responsibility, right? Of course. He's filing the claim today. Good. I hung up. Marcus was making coffee in my kitchen. How long until he figures it out? A few days. Maybe a week. And then? Tyler learns what no big deal actually costs. That afternoon at 2 p.m. Tyler called State Farm. I know this because State Farm sent me a notification. Claim filed by Tyler Hartman. I pulled up the claim online. I could see everything. The police report. Tyler's statement. The adjuster's notes. Tyler's statement. I was driving home from work and didn't see the fire hydrant due to poor lighting. I swerved to avoid it but made contact. Airbags deployed. Vehicle is not drivable. The adjuster called Tyler. I didn't hear that conversation, but I saw the notes afterward. Driver confirmed he was operating the vehicle. Driver confirmed he is listed as primary on policy. Photos requested. Police report received. Estimated total loss. Tyler texted the family group chat. Insurance is handling everything. Becca will have money in a week. My mom sees everything worked out. I didn't respond. May 8th through 10th. The insurance inspector examined the car, took photos, ran the numbers. The car was worth $18,500. Payout after deductible, $17,500. Tyler texted me. They said you'll get a check by next week. You can buy a new car. I replied. Thanks for handling it. Tyler, no problem. On May 13th, 2024, Tyler received an envelope in the mail at my parents' house. I know the exact time he opened it because he called me 6 minutes later, screaming. But first, let me tell you what was in that envelope. It was a letter from State Farm. Official letterhead. Policy number at the top. Addressed to Tyler James Hartman. It read, Dear Mr. Hartman, this letter is to inform you that Claim 7834-2024-ADX has been processed and closed. The vehicle, a 2021 Honda Civic, has been deemed a total loss. The The claim payout of $17,500 has been issued to the policyholder, Rebecca Hartman. As the primary driver listed on the policy at the time of the accident, this at-fault accident has been recorded under your driver's license, DL 78348829TX. This will remain on your driving record for 3 years. Your current insurance policy with Safe Ride Insurance has been notified of this claim. Based on this incident and your prior driving history, your premium rate is expected to increase. For questions regarding your policy, please contact your insurance provider directly. Additionally, your license suspension, 90 days, for refusal of a breathalyzer test is a separate matter handled by the Texas Department of Public Safety. Thank you for your cooperation. Sincerely, State Farm Claims Department. At 6:47 p.m., my phone rang. What did you do? I was at Marcus's place. We were cooking dinner. I put Tyler on speaker. I filed the claim, like you asked. It is under my name. You were the primary driver. That's how insurance works. You did this on purpose. I added you to my policy so you'd be covered while driving my car. You're welcome. My insurance is going to be $800 a move now. That seems expensive. Maybe you should have been more careful. Becca, Tyler, I've got dinner on the stove. I'll talk to you later. I hung up. Marcus stared at me. $800? His current policy is $380. With this accident and his history? Yeah, $800 sounds about right. My phone rang again. My mom. Rebecca Ann Hartman, what have you done? I protected Tyler. He was insured while driving my car. You trapped him. I trusted him. He crashed my car at 2 a.m. outside a bar after I explicitly told him to only use it for work. My dad's voice, we'll fight this. Fight what? The insurance company? The police report? The fire hydrant? Tyler signed as the primary driver when he filed the claim. He confirmed it on a recorded line. There's nothing to fight. My mom, you're being vindictive. I'm being fair. Tyler made a choice. Now he gets to live with it. I hung up. Over the next week, Tyler tried everything. He called State Farm and claimed fraud. They played him the recording of his claim call where he confirmed he was the primary driver. He called a lawyer. The lawyer told him there was no case. He'd signed the insurance documents. He'd filed the claim. He'd confirmed the details. He posted on Facebook. Family will stab you in the back over money. I didn't respond. His current insurance company, Safe Ride Insurance, sent him a letter. They were dropping him. Third at-fault accident in 5 years. He was now considered high risk. He called me on May 20th. I need a car for work. The bus is very reliable. You're enjoying this. I'm enjoying replacing my car with the insurance payout. You should try not crashing the next one you borrow. Nobody will ever lend me a car again. I know. He hung up. My parents kept calling. I stopped answering. On June 2nd, 2024, my mom texted, family dinner, Sunday, 6 p.m. We need to clear the air. I showed Marcus the text. Should I go? Do you want to? I want this to be over. Then go, say what you need to say, and leave. I drove to my parents' house that Sunday. Tyler's car, Kevin's repaired Ford Focus, was back in the driveway. Tyler was inside, sitting at the dining room table, arms crossed, glaring at me. My parents were in the kitchen. My mom was pulling a casserole out of the oven. My dad was pouring iced tea. We sat down. Nobody spoke. My mom served the food. We ate in silence for 5 minutes. Then my dad cleared his throat. Rebecca, we need to discuss your behavior. I set down my fork. My behavior? You set your brother up. I added him to my insurance policy so he'd be covered while using my car. That's responsible. Tyler, you knew I'd crash it. You crashed 3 other cars. Yes, I knew. My mom, then why did you let him borrow it? Because you begged me to. For months. He's changed. He's responsible now. It's just for work. Don't be selfish. It's Christmas. It's family. I said no over and over. You called me cruel. You called me difficult. You made me the bad guy. So I stopped being the bad guy. I said yes. And Tyler did exactly what I knew he'd do. Tyler, 1 mistakes. 4 mistakes. Jake's truck, Melissa's SUV, Amy's sedan, my Civic. This wasn't bad luck. This is who you are. My dad, that's not fair. You want to know what's not fair? Jake's insurance went up. Amy's insurance went up. Melissa broke up with Tyler because she couldn't trust him. And every single time you two said accidents happen, and it's not that bad and he's just unlucky. You cleaned his messes, you made excuses, you protected him from consequences. My mom, we're his parents, and he's 25 years old. He's not a kid. He's an adult who's crashed 4 cars and never once had to pay for it himself. Tyler stood up. I can't afford $800 a month. Then you can't afford to drive. Take the bus, get a bike, ask for rides. I did that for 2 years while I saved for my car. You can do it too. My dad, we're trying to help him. No, you're enabling him. There's a difference. I stood up. Here's what's going to happen. I'm taking my $17,500 insurance check, and I'm buying a new car. Tyler's name will never appear on my policy again. He'll spend the next 3 years with an at-fault accident on his record. His insurance will cost $800 a month, and if you want to pay it, that's your choice. But I'm done. The next time Tyler asks to borrow something, the answer is no. And if you try to guilt me into saying yes, I'll say no to you too. My mom started crying. My dad looked at his plate. Tyler, you're a terrible sister, maybe. But I'm the only one in this family who's ever told you the truth. You're a bad driver, Tyler. You don't pay attention. You drink and drive, you lie about it. And you've gotten away with it because mom and dad clean up after you. I'm not doing that anymore. I grabbed my purse and walked out. Marcus was waiting in his truck. I got in. How'd it go? I think I just burned every bridge in that house. Good. They were rotten anyway. 6 months later, November 2024, I'm sitting in my apartment writing this story. I bought a 2022 Toyota Camry with the insurance money. Reliable, safe, mine. Tyler is still taking the bus. He lost his bartending job in August because he couldn't get to the late shifts reliably. My parents are paying his $780 a month insurance premium, but they're not happy about it. Last week, Tyler texted me, "I need to borrow money for insurance," I replied. "No, Tyler, I'm your brother." I didn't respond. My mom calls me once a month now. We talk about surface things, the weather, her real estate sales, my design projects. We don't talk about Tyler. We don't talk about the car. My dad sent me a birthday card in October. He wrote inside, "We love you. We don't always understand you, but we love you." I kept the card. Aunt Gina called me last week. "You did the right thing," she said. Mom and Dad don't think so. Linda and Robert have been cleaning up Tyler's messes since he was 16. First speeding ticket, first fender bender, first DUI. I stopped. Wait, DUI? They kept that one quiet. Hired a lawyer. Got it reduced to reckless driving. Tyler never faced real consequences. You gave him one. Maybe the only one he'll ever get. I thought about that for a long time after we hung up. Here's the thing about consequences. We treat them like punishments. Like something mean you do to someone because you're angry. But consequences aren't punishments. They're just reality. They're what happens when your choices catch up to you. Tyler crashed my car because he was careless. He'd been careless 3 times before. And every time, someone else paid for it. His friends paid. His girlfriend paid. Our cousins paid. And my parents made excuses. I didn't punish Tyler. I just stopped protecting him from the cost of his own choices. His insurance is $780 a month because he's a bad driver with 3 at-fault accidents and a suspended license. That's not cruelty. That's cause and effect. And yeah, I set him up. I knew he'd crash my car. I added him to my policy as the primary driver. I tracked his GPS. I documented everything. I made sure that when he crashed, he'd be the one holding the bill. Does that make me a bad person? Maybe. Does that make me a bad sister? Probably. But I'm not the one who crashed 4 cars. I'm not the one who lied about where I was going. I'm not the one who said no big deal while standing next to a total car and a broken fire hydrant. I'm just the one who finally said, "Okay, you're right. It's no big deal, so you can deal with it." Tyler still doesn't have a car. He's been borrowing rides from coworkers and taking the bus when he can. Last I heard, he's working at a coffee shop now. Day shifts, close to home. He can walk there. My parents are slowly coming around. My mom invited me to Thanksgiving dinner. I said I'd think about it. Tyler hasn't apologized. I don't think he ever will. In his mind, I'm the villain. I'm the one who ruined his life. But here's what I know. I didn't ruin anything. I just stopped rebuilding what he kept tearing down. If you're still with me, I want to ask you something. Have you ever let someone borrow something valuable knowing they'd probably destroy it? What did you do when they did? Drop a comment. I read every single one. And if you've ever been the family member who worries too much or doesn't trust enough, hit that subscribe button. I've got another story linked in the description about a woman whose sisters borrowed her wedding dress. You'll want to hear what happened to it. My name is Rebecca Hartman. I'm 28 years old, and I'm the sister who let her brother crash her car on purpose, not because I'm cruel, but because sometimes the best thing you can do is let someone hit the wall they've been running toward their entire life. Tyler hit that wall at 2 a.m. on Rainy Street in Austin, Texas. The wall was a fire hydrant, and it cost him $780 a month for the next 3 years. He said it was no big deal. I agreed.